Good morning to all of you again. This is part 4 of the signs and symptoms related to possible suicidal ideations. This next thing that we're talking about right here is the biggest warning sign for me. This is the one that worries me the most when somebody is considering suicide, and it's this. It's uncharacteristic happiness or calmness. Now that sounds contradictory because you would think that with somebody who has been bummed out, who's been depressed, who hasn't been happy with their life, and maybe made statements about their plans of self-harm, they've had increased risk-taking behaviors, increased substance abuse, increased risky sexual behaviors, increased risky physical behaviors, risk-taking behaviors, a whole bunch of these different things. They may have had increased trauma, all these different things that's been bummed out, and then they're suddenly euphoric. They're super happy. They're super expressive, like night and day, like from one mood to the other. A lot of people think that this is actually a good sign. And we want it to be a good sign. And that makes sense that we would think it is. But what it is, for a lot of people, when they suddenly turn into this euphoric stage, is that they have planned out their life. They've made the decision, this is what I am going to do. And that weight of, how am I going to get through this problem? How am I going to get through this life? How am I going to get through all this stuff that's been running around in their head, is now relieved because they see a solution. Now, I'm not saying that solution is good. I disagree with that. I think the solution is not a good plan for that person. But what I'm saying is, it's what goes on in their mind. So they feel relieved. They feel relieved of all the stress and pressure that's been on them. And they start considering, like, seriously, the ending of their life, and they feel relieved, and so they're happy because they know the pain's going to be away. Just the wording for it that I have, if you don't mind, I want to read this word for word what I have from the book. If you haven't picked up at least this chapter for free from www.staystrongbook.com, you can pick up this chapter 2 for free that talks about all the signs and symptoms. If you want to purchase the book, you can link to it as well. And that would help get this message out. But anyways, the exact wording that I have from the book is this: uncharacteristic happiness and calmness, also seen as one of the last signs of impending suicide. A person that has been depressed, sad, or clearly suicidal might suddenly appear oddly happy or calm. This is usually due to their anticipation of the relief from the difficulties of life that they believe will be resolved through the taking of their own life. When this sign is noted, it would be a good idea to become more vigilant of their actions. Emergent actions on your behalf might be needed in order to save their life. So that's a very important part that I want to make. When you see this person, they're euphoric, they may start giving away gifts that are important to them. Like, grandmother gave them this trinket, and then they suddenly give it to you and say, hey, I think grandma always wanted you to have this. And then they give this other gift to this other person. Or maybe they have some painting, things that have been treasured to them, they start giving out during this uncharacteristic happiness or calmness phase. Really does necessitate our actions on their behalf. Now, some of those actions we'll get into on the next video, but we need to start maybe talking with other loved ones and figuring out a plan of how to help this person, how to help them to get over their stuff. So that's something that you really want to do, is become more vigilant. So in the next video, since we've talked about some of these basic signs and symptoms to watch out for it, and once again, it doesn't mean that if somebody has these symptoms, they are going to. It's just something to look out for to guide us as a realization that it could be one of these things that could be going through their mind, driving them towards the idea of possible suicide. All right. Love you all. Bye-bye.